Hello, I'm Adam with Kaden Landscaping, here to show you how to operate that sprinkler timer. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon down below. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so let's take a look at this timer. This is an orbit timer. We do use hunter timers, rainbird timers, various timers out there, but this is our #1 timer right here. We use this in most, if not all, of our residential homes, and the reason why we do, it's simple. This is the easiest timer I have found to operate. I've used this timer in, its versions that they've made for 20 years now, so absolutely love it. Super simple. I could walk you through it over the phone, and I'm going to walk you through it in this video. So we just plugged this in. It has not been set. Haven't done the battery backup either. This is right here, the battery backup. You just pull that out. Now if the timer gets unplugged, it's going to go ahead and hold its program there. We're going to not go through a bunch of troubleshooting and stuff here. We're simply going to go through setting your timer. So when you get it, this is exactly how it looked out of the box. See, out of position, that's where you want to leave it all the time. You can switch it to off if you're going to go ahead and like mow the lawn the next day. You can click it to off. I like to leave it in the auto position and then just hit like a rain delay of say 24 hours or 48 hours or 72, but we'll go ahead and go through that in another video. So we'll clear that out. So auto position, first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the dial, and this should be similar to all the timers out on the market. Turn the dial to date and clock. So it's simple. I like to always press enter. It really helps me if I use that enter button. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the time. Time is 5:31 right now. So we're going to hit the plus button, go all the way up to 5. Whoops, too much. 5:31. So there you have it. Clicking enter, when you press enter, it will go to the next setting. So you see the PM right there. So it's going to the PM right there to show you that you can either go AM or PM, but we're going to leave it on PM. Hitting enter again takes me to my next thing, 2016. It is not. Moving to 2020. Hitting enter there. And it is the 11th month. We're going to go down so we can go backwards. And you can see right here it says Y for year, M for month, and D for day. So hitting enter there on the month, and then the day is the 1st. So November 1st. All right, so there you have it. So your time is set. So now we go ahead and turn the dial to start times. Now this is very important. This is what time the system is going to come on and what time your whole system is going to run. When you set this time, it will literally start zone 1, move to zone 2, then to 3, then to 4. You do not have to set this timer 4 times, like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. in order to go through the valves. Once it's set, it literally will run valve by valve through the system. So we're going to go ahead and set this for, we'll say 5 a.m. Most common mistake I have is when people call me and they say, hey, my timer comes on. I'm going to go back to that. My timer comes on, but it runs about 30 minutes. And then it kicks right back on again, and it runs 4 consecutive times in a row, and my yard is full of water. Well, what's happened is you set it for 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, and it's resetting over and over and over again, and it's starting on zone 1 4 times before it's kicking over to the second zone. So set it once, you're good. Now this timer has multiple settings. So this is start time 1. In the BA program, start time 2, start time 3, start time 4. So if you're seeding your lawn and you need 4 starts, right there you have 4 start times. Also, you can use the B program. B program is going to give you another 4 start times. But for this purpose, really, you need to set your timer for once, twice a day typically is more than enough. So especially if you're like in Southridge area or some of that area where they have a really compact like soil that doesn't drain very well. So first time is set. We're going to go ahead and hit enter. This is going to go to second time. Now we're going to set it for evening time. So we're going to set it up for 9 p.m. Okay, there you go, 9 p.m. Now it's just important. So we've got it set for 5 and 9. Now this is completely custom to your yard. Like you've got to learn how much your yard needs. Some areas in Tri-Cities, it only needs to run like 3 times a week. In other areas, it has to run 3 times a day. Really depends on if you're sand, rock, like clay-like soil. So you really got to learn your yard. And if you go out there and you got standing water and really squishy ground and all that stuff, you're running it too much. So we've shown here 2 start times, but that does not mean that's how much you have to set it for. That will be in another video on how to set your timer for the different areas. So here you have it. We got 5 p.m. or a.m. and 9 p.m. It's going to start its cycle then. It's going to go zone by zone by zone. So that's how you set your start times. We're going to click this dial to run time. So run time, here's zone 1. Now you're going to have to go learn, and I like to write them down on a piece of paper. That way I know, okay, zone 1 is the front yard. Okay, we're going to say the big sprinklers, you know, the ones that kind of spray out and they kind of come back and forth like this, right? We're going to pretend that's the front yard. They need to run more than the pop-ups. You know, a pop-up comes on and it blasts a bunch of water out, all kind of continuous on one area. Those don't need to run nearly as much as rotors do. The rotors are the ones that go back and forth like that. So we're going to pretend like that's a rotor zone. So that one's going to need 20 minutes worth of run time. We've set that. Boom, pressed enter. Now we're on to zone 2. See, zone 1, zone 2. Okay, now we're going to pretend this is the side yard. It has pop-ups, a little bit of water. Boom, it is covered. So we're only going to set that zone for 5 minutes because the pop-ups don't need to run as much. So we're going to set that for 5 minutes. Now you see how you have to kind of learn your yard. The front yard, we'll say that faces north. Well, if that faces north, that rotor line's not going to have to run as much as the stuff that faces south because the south is going to get massive amounts of sun during the middle of the summer. Side yard, let's suppose the side yard faces east. Well, it's going to get shade basically from midday on. So same principle. That pop-up line might have to run, you know, a third or a half as much as the one on the west side of the yard. So just things to keep in mind. You've got to learn your yard, learn how much it takes. Okay, zone 3, backyard facing south. So we know, okay, man, that thing's really going to get a lot of sun. We're going to set that rotor zone because it's the rotors going back and forth. We're going to set that for 30 minutes. There's 2 zones in the back because we have a big backyard. So we're going to go ahead and set the second backyard zone. Same thing, 30 minutes. Boom, now we've got our west facing side yard, all pop-ups, gets tons of water quick. We're going to go ahead and set that one up for 8 minutes because it needs to run a little more than the east facing side yard, but not nearly as much as the rotors need to run. So there you have it. Now let's say zone 6 is a drip zone. Got drip for our plants and stuff like that. So, all right, we're going to have 1 gallon emitters on there. We're going to set that one up for, say, 25 minutes every day. So there you go. You have zone 1, rotors in the front, right? Side yard, pop-ups, doesn't need to run as much. Set that for 5 minutes. Backyard, full sun rotors, 30 minutes. Backyard again, full sun rotors, 30 minutes. Side yard, 8 minutes. Kind of facing the west, gets a lot of that hot afternoon sun. Going to the drip zone in the front yard, watering all the plants, 25 minutes. Okay, all 6 zones are set. You can see that. Okay, now it's set. We've got our start time coming on. Start time is going to start at 5 a.m. It's going to run zone 1. Then it's going to go to zone 2. Then it's going to go to zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. It's set. Like it's ready to go. Now we got to go to how often. This is going to be your days. Right now there's no squares around there. Some of them you have to have squares. Some timers it's the exact opposite. You don't want the squares around them. So we're going to set this up to run every day. See that? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're going to go ahead and click enter. Kick over to the side, click enter again, hitting the side arrow, hitting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now every day is set. If I want to kick over and I want to do like an interval system, I could do that. If I want to do odds or evens, I can do that. For me, I like to customize it. So I go over here and I go, oh, it's springtime. I don't need to run my system as much. I'm going to take Sunday off. I'm going to leave Monday on. I'm going to take Sunday off, leave Wednesday on, take Tuesday off, leave Friday on, and eliminate Saturday. I'm running 3 days a week right now. Or I go, okay, hey, it's the middle of the summer. I need to run every day, but you know what? I like to mow my lawn every Saturday, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it off on Saturday so it doesn't run that morning. So now Saturday's off. And you can just customize it 2 days a week, 5 days a week, anything you want. That's how I like to use the timer for the days. So for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and leave all the days set. So basically your timer is all set. And there's another dial on here, and this is new compared to when Orbit first came out or when I began running it 20 years ago. They didn't have the budget. I'm not a big budget guy. You know, we have such extreme weather here in Tri-Cities. It goes from 80 degrees in the late spring to 106 degrees, just like that. Well, if I'm not out in front of that and I'm not bumping my water up, guess what? My yard's going to get burnt because I had it set for the springtime and it just jumped up 25 degrees. So budgets used is that if you have your set times that work for you, say in the middle of the summer, then technically in the spring and in the fall, you could just dial it back and say, I only want to run at 70% of that summertime run time. Or I can go ahead and increase it up to 150%. I mean, it will work. I'm sure people use it and stuff like that. I don't really like it, you know, so I just kind of customize it and kind of watch the weather and kind of what's going on with my yard and just kind of monitor it. And I just kind of adjust my yard throughout the year from what it needs. So that's pretty much it. So going back, always setting it in the auto position. It is now set to run. You could see it's 5:40 p.m. Next start time is going to be 9 p.m. That's what it's indicating to us, that it's going to start at 9 p.m. tonight. And when it gets there tonight, it's going to run zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6, just like that. And it's going to be doing that every day of the week. So that is how to set a sprinkler timer. So I hope that helps you guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and thank you for watching. We'll go ahead and have another video on troubleshooting and understanding issues with timers next.